Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your co-host D Rose. What's going on, Spears? What's going on, Flake? How everything going, man?
Just awake and shaking once again, and you know what's on. Like, we just out here, man, just having a good time. Busy week I've had. I've been running all over the place. From my daughter graduating from cosmetology school, throwing a party for her, to Christmas parties, to man, just all over the town. I really ain't had a chance to sit down and just chill with how much stuff I've had going on. But happy to be alive, family doing good, everybody doing great. So I can't complain at all.
Yeah, all is good with me. Just maintaining. Family doing good, kids doing good. They enjoying that Christmas break right now, or they winter break, because I guess it includes New Year, so they winter break. They enjoying that right now. Everything's good for me, so I'm just maintaining and trying to stay out the way, so that's all good. How about you, Rose?
Yeah, everything good on my end, man. I can't complain. Shout out to Lil' Cuz for graduating, and she already got a booth as well, right, at a salon, so she's gonna be jumping right into the game.
Yeah, she got her own little closed out suite area inside of a salon now. So she taking appointments, follow Created by Kai. Yeah, book your appointment if you're in the Nashville area. If you're in the Tennessee area, book your appointment. Come holler at her. She doing makeup, she doing frontal, she doing enclosures, she doing wigs, she doing silk press, braids, twists, all that. You retwist, start your twist off. She doing all that.
That man said, drive from Chattanooga, drive from Knoxville, drive from anywhere. He said, if you're in the Tennessee area, he said, cancel that Nashville if you're in the Tennessee area.
Exactly. Because she do got one lady that she braid hair to drive the 3-hour drive from Memphis all the way here, like once a quarter, to get her hair braided from her.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, you driving through, you just want to drive up, see what's up, man, make that trip.
Well, salute to the queen.
Man. Yeah, major shout out to Lil' Cuz with that, man. And man, I seen a couple videos from that Christmas party jump, man. I seen y'all turned up there, man. How it turned out though? Who ended up winning that little rap contest jump?
Man, not the person who put the most money into his show didn't win.
Hey, man, he had I heard Big Junior. Let me say Big Junior. I heard his track. I said, man, he had somebody to actually produce that junk, didn't it? Band play, didn't it?
I told him, I said, you better put that junk on Spotify. That junk slick slapping. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's definitely a little Christmas slap, little parody junk. Have him turned up. I said he went and got band play for the little Christmas junk.
That man had a song, had a dance, do the F on the shelf.
Yeah, that junk, that's when it hit to me. I said, okay, yeah, right. I might have to get a little snippet, see if I can use that junk on here to let people hear that junk. That junk slick slapping though. But yeah, man, we're glad everybody doing good, man. We're gonna jump right into it, man. I know last time that we recorded, we had talked about the impact of like Deion and the HBCUs for SWAC, the MEAC. You know, they actually had the Celebration Bowl this past Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, man. But we were just gonna touch base just to kind of close the knot on how do you all feel that, you know, now that Deion is no longer the head coach at Jackson State, they've passed it on to TC, which I think is a great hire. He's culturally sound. He knows exactly what Deion has put on for the last, 2.5, 3 years. But I think there was a lot of things when people called him a sellout were, how did he actually impact Jackson State in its entirety? What's y'all thoughts on that, just to kind of close the knot on it? Do you think people are overlooking what he actually did from a financial standpoint that impacted not just Jackson State as the school, but the city as a whole?
I think, me personally, I think they're overlooking what he's done. Because he done a lot, like I said in the previous recording, he done a lot within the time he was there than a lot of people have that been there for a while. He was trying to make changes within the city, especially when they had the water crisis going on. He met with the mayor, met with the governor, met with a lot of things that coaches don't have to do, he was doing. So I hope that Jack State can maintain the financial impact. He laid out the blueprint for them to be able to maintain that. Sometimes you just gotta ask. I don't think a lot of it is due to his name. I think a lot of it is due to his name, but I think some of it is just simple fact that somebody might need a tax write-off, and he just went and asked. He just happened to be the one to ask. I don't think anybody would have thought that Walmart would pay for them to get a new practice field and all that. I mean, I wouldn't even thought to ask Walmart that, but now he laid out that blueprint. So now, shoot, you go up to any of these people, you can ask some of these factories that need a tax write-off, Walmart, whoever. They ain't got to pay for the whole thing, but if you can get 10,000 over here, you can get 5,000 over here, you can get another 7,500 over here for somebody to do a tax write-off. You put all that together, you can get some things done. Now, I would like to see all those who attend the HBCUs. If you didn't attend the HBCU, but you go to the games, you go to the parade, you at home coming kicking it, this, that, the other. If you ain't got nothing but $20 to donate, hey, donate your $20. Because if your community all donate that $20, that all add up. So you ain't have to go to the HBCU that's in your city or not to donate or help out. Like I said, if you attend anything related to basketball game, band competition, all the parades, this, that, and the other, if you go up there to enjoy those type of things, you need to be donating.
Yeah, you made some valid points with that. I know, Spears, you were saying that you were privy to some information. Would you like to expound on that? Did you happen to touch bases with your sources again to kind of get any clarification on even some of the things Prime has said? Because he has said like there was a lot of sold out games, but they were only saying that it was maybe 28,000 to 30,000 tickets was the number that's being thrown around. Now, some people saying that's not legit, but I don't find him to be somebody that will lie about something so minute, because we've seen the impact. You could just look at it and see that there was a gradual impact. But did you end up following up with your sources, or would you like to go ahead and expound on what we touched the bases on last time we talked about it?
I mean, some of the stuff came out publicly already, so it's nothing new or nothing that I guess isn't out there now. It's just a lot of missing money, and then also just a lot of being told no when he was coming out his own pocket to finance some things, and then still being told no by the president or the different people that he had to go through to get things done within the school. So, it's not always the president that says no. It could be the provost or some other people or whatever the case may be. But he was trying to do bigger things than just for the football facility and for football. And he was trying to do it for, Jackson State as a whole, as a school. But it started with his impact as being a football coach. But a lot of the things was just left on him as the football coach and as his name, and other people wasn't pulling their weight. And then finances was getting missing that he brung in as far as the funds you get from concessions and from ticket sales and all of this stuff, and the money wasn't matching up, like for the numbers that they actually had in the stadium and then the numbers that was being reported and different things like that. So that stuff is all open and out there now, and so it's been confirmed again. There ain't actually no definitive like price points or numbers that's been told, but it's been confirmed of the things that's been happening and stuff. So that was just a lot of the issues, and to Flex point, and to something that Deion has said on one of his videos that he posted on social media as well, is that that we as a culture and the people have to stop just being about the turn up. We have to stop just being about the stuff that's gonna get notoriety. We have to be intentional and a contributing factor to all aspects of, i.e., for example, Jackson State. So as much as you was rooting for Deion and for the football team, that same energy need to be with the debate team. That same energy need to be with the tennis team. That same energy need to be with track. That same energy need to be with academics. That same energy need to be supported throughout the whole school. So then therefore, we're not just always about sports and entertainment, and we're making sure that our kids are actually getting a excellent education, one that can compete with these PWIs or these Ivy schools and all of that stuff. So to Flake point, if you are an alumni, make sure you're doing your part. If you're not an alumni and you Black and you got anything negative to say about Deion because you Black and you feel like he sold out, make sure that you sending $1 or $2 to the HBCU closest to you, or whatever the case may be, because you can't call somebody a sellout when you're not carrying your own weight and doing your own part. So that's what I would say. And then just as a culture and as a people, we have to be careful about the stuff that we say about people when we ain't even looked in the mirror and checked ourselves and made sure that we ain't doing our part. We so focused on Deion because of his name and saying that he's sold out. But what have you done lately, honestly, for the culture, period? Like, for the culture, period. Let's not say HBCUs, but for the culture, period. What have you done lately? Or are you still trying to get Gucci on your body? Are you still trying to sport some Balenciagas? Are you still doing all of this stuff but not going to your local Black establishment, Black-owned business, and supporting them or giving back? Or are you not, checking out who is the top doctor in your thing, and you still going to the Asian or to the white person or whatever the case may be, when there's a Black dentist who's at the top of that game in your city and all of that stuff? So what have you done for the culture? Just make sure before you start putting your mouth on other people and start entering other people's homes that your home is straight. And that's all I gotta say.
I mean, you made some hell of a points, because when I look at it from a perspective of, it's just, he even mentioned that in his exit interview, was that y'all putting all the onus on the football coach. And when you think about it, like, I haven't been to college at all, but you went to HBCU. So when you think about, when you talk to some of the alumni and some of the people that are around, of course, we ain't gonna act like they're not severely underfunded from a state perspective, just, across the United States. So we're aware of that, but not just complain about that. What do you think provides the roadblock for us not to really just support HBCUs when you talk to people that have been? Like, why doesn't the alumni support like other PWIs? Of course, they have the funding, but we spend a lot of money as a Black people, as a culture. So what do you think really prevents Black people or supporters of HBCUs pouring their money back into the schools, or the schools that's in their community?
I will say this, though. That is one thing I did disagree with Deion on, by when he was like, he's just a football coach and it can't all just be on. Well, he didn't, when he said that a football coach can't do this, well, you proved that a football coach can. So I disagree with you. I disagree with him on that aspect, because he was the catalyst. He started it, and as we stated, he laid out the blueprint. So a football coach can be the leader, or can be the catalyst, or can be the one on the front line doing the things. Now, it shouldn't just be on the football coach, but a football coach can do it because he did it, and he's shown that it can be done by what he did, and the blueprint that he laid out, the example that he did, just showing people how to go about stuff and everything. Now, of course, we know all things aren't going to be easy, and so whoever's next TC or at other HBCUs, you had the blueprint. Not saying it's going to be easy, not saying everything's going to be yes, but we know what needs to be done. So that's the only thing I disagree with him on. As far as the alumni being more influential on their school and where they go from an HBCU standard, I think it just starts with the mind. I think it just starts with creating new standards and upholding those standards. But then also, I think it also starts with, and this is something that, because people don't like talking about their money or their bank accounts. Sometimes coming from a school, no matter how great the experience is, no matter how big the HBCU is, it could be one of the biggest or it could be one of the smallest. When you get into that world, you still at the bottom of the totem pole, so your money might be a little funny, and so it's harder for you to contribute, because again, if we know how society works, we know who getting the first looks, we know It's not what you know, it's who you know. We know all of these different little things that go on within the world and the society we live in. So a lot of these kids or young men and women that are coming from HBCUs still have it hard, just like some of the kids coming from PWIs have it hard getting into the job or getting into the profession that they want to get in. So sometimes the money's not right. And then also, depending on where you come from, how you come from, you know, if your name look right on their resume before they even see you. If you honestly, if you got a name like LaQuisha and it says you coming from Jackson State, Tennessee State, or whatever the case may be, Heather from Penn State, from Oregon or whatever, is probably gonna get, you know, the interview first and the nod first before you. So again, those are some of the things, like to be honest and open to, I guess, try to support us and say this might be why, but again, we still need to do better and do more, because again, even if it starts with $1 a month, you know, send $1 a month. If that's all you can send, but send something and help. So then therefore that dollar between 20,000 people, because you know, alumni is now, I know it's more than that, so 20,000 is a low number, but if it's from 50,000 alumni throughout the country and they send $1, that's $50,000 a year that is being, you know, brought into the community or whatever and all that other stuff. And well, that's not even $50,000 a year. I'm tripping. 50,000 times 12, because you sending $1 a month and you times that by 12, then you up in the millions. And so that's helping your alumni. So again, we just got to change our mindset and start from somewhere at the beginning. It doesn't matter. It don't have to be lucrative and big that we always thinking like, oh, I can't afford to give $100 a month, or I can't give this or whatever. Or, you know, sometimes they do alumni fundraisers and stuff and they want you to give 1,000 at this time or whatever the case may be. If you can't do it, start with what you can. And that's just where we got to get girded up in us and built in us to be like, just give what you can versus giving what they may ask for or what you think you need to send.
You hit the spot on, man, because I actually gathered some numbers just from like last year, so I don't think they did like the census from 2022 yet, but it's 107 HBCUs in the United States. They have 230,000 students, 20% of them are non-Black. However, on the opposite end, 1.6 million Black people go to PWIs a year. So it's been spoke about from like analysts and other people that have broke down like this whole topic is, why isn't there more of an influx? They've had a lot of people go into the schools now. Enrollment has hit a high rate. I think we talked about that on our last episode, but 1.6 million Blacks still going to the PWI. Of course, everybody is not going to go to HBCU, but that's still a huge number of people that are going and choosing to go to PWIs. And I think it goes to Flake's point, like we celebrate going to the bigger schools than we would go to, say, honestly, that Black school that's in the hood. And I think that's just to Spirit's point and Flake point, that's something we have to address. But I would think from just the only challenge I put out there from a financial perspective, I still think that at the rate that we spend, there has to be some kind of initiative that we say at some point we have to build instead of beg. And it's a lot of money that we putting out every year that should be going back into these schools if you truthfully care and not just want to complain and look for the white man to pass you something that unfortunately may not happen, but we can build on our own and keep pushing, and it ain't just a Deion. So that's just my final thoughts on that. Flake, what you about to say?
I don't even think we begging for the white man, dude. I think we looking for a no. Hold on, hear me out.
I got
what I've seen with this Deion situation is that we was looking for that one Black person. MLK ain't coming back. Malcolm X ain't coming back. I think a lot of Black people still looking for that Black hero. We look for it in Jay-Z. We look for it when Deion, when he did his thing. Anybody who reaches that top level, we look at that particular person to hold down all Black folks. Like that's not finna happen. Like that, those people are not coming back. You know what I mean? So we gotta get in collective as a group and take care of our own business when it comes to this. Prime done more for Jackson State than all them Black people going up to visit Trump and getting that money. You know what I'm saying? He did more for Jackson State during that time. You would think the way they was up there hollering at the White House about getting that money, that would have turned out to be something to help out these HBCUs more than what Prime did. And what Prime done, He done did more than whatever money they were supposed to get or did not get. They're still up in the air if they even really get. Celebration Bowl this past weekend, they had more people in attendance this year than they had any other year for the Celebration Bowl. So we got to keep that going. Even had me thinking like, oh, next year's Celebration Bowl, I got to go down there. Like I got to go down there and represent and be attendance for this game to keep this attendance high. So these schools that's playing in it can get their little bread broke off from the ticket sales.
You're right, because this show definitely was a sold-out event. Of course, this is just the 7th inaugural one. They've only been doing it, 7 years now? So it's, right. I think, 1-1 with Southern. The rest has been coming from the MEAC. I just think, just to kind of close up this topic, the MEAC plays better competition. I think the SWAC got more swagger than they actually got real good football because them North Carolina Central boys just look different.
They run
look
it
like
back
a good,
unreal.
Yeah, they look like a damn good football team. That I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think that Prime should be the only coach, or may not even should have been the coach that got elevated out of HBCUs to go to a Power 5. And I just hope that if the next person that does get pulled up, that they're not labeled as a sellout because they're actually getting their just due. Gonna be real with you, like that's some damn good coaching that they had over there at North Carolina Central. I hate that I can't even remember the coach's name, but he put a solid damn game plan together. At times, Jackson State looked like they had no idea of what to do, and be real with you, looked like they ran 3 plays, and you was just gonna have to stop them. And they was picking on little Shiloh. Well, you better get rid out there to Pac-12. If that's what you're gonna be doing, them California boys will be coming out there. Well, they're gonna have you out there on the stream. Man. Yeah, them little corner routes, he was getting flooded. I said, boy, you ain't ready for that spread. That spread 5 out there in the Pac-12. That's gonna be a different story for him. But overall, great conversation on that, man. But we'll jump right into this one. We're a little late to the little part on this one, but man. What was y'all real thoughts on Brittney Griner being traded for the arms dealer, the Merchant of Death, Victor Bout? What was your thoughts on that? Social media went into frenzy. A lot of people loved it. Few people hated it. The few people that hated it, people hate them. Just gonna put it that way. What's your real thoughts? This our last episode. They canceled us after this. Right, we went out the real way. But what's y'all real thoughts on this, man?
My real thoughts, if I'm the one that got to make that trade, well, first I got to get this joke out the way. Somebody posted on Instagram, this is the first time I seen the WNBA trade hit the Sports Center ticker. Well, I like to die when I see that, bro. But my thought is, if I'm the one in charge of this, I'm the one that got to pull the trigger, no pun intended, on this particular trade. I'm gonna call them and see if they get me in contact with Brittney. I'm gonna let her get in contact Finesse 2 times and Gucci Mane. Hey, get your beats and your lyrics together, and we're gonna see you in 9, man. We're gonna see them 9. And your first day out song it better be slapping, man. If Finesse can do it, Gucci can do it. Hey, look, when you come back, we got you a record deal, and you bust out them Russian cream raps, man. Hey, it's just gonna be first mixtape, Hash Oil and Russia. That just gonna slap. hey, I ain't let that man go, dog. I ain't let him go. Not him, no sir.
That's a tough one, man. She'd have had to ride out them 9, big fella. I'm sorry. She'd have had to go and ride them out, dog. I wasn't in agreement with it, but of course, like, if it would, my biggest issue is that we put up a lot of fighters, a lot of fuss in regards to, get her out because she's over there in Russia. And I could agree, bring her over here, do whatever you need to do, but not for him. But then we also have a very alarming rate of people that are locked up in the United States for the same amount of charges that may not never come home if it was like a 3-strike rule. So it's like, I ain't really with just the favoritism because, quote unquote, it was a celebrity that they did that for. And then for him, it's like, it just kind of make, that's a whole different story. But, I be feeling like these countries be in bed with other countries and they got to do a favor for a favor. She just happened to be a political pawn in this one. And she happened to come home. I mean, that's just what that is. But I didn't agree with that at all, because we got too much going on over here for us just to be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. What's your thoughts, Spears? I see you getting like you're getting powered up over there. What's your thoughts? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Over there looking like Suge or somebody. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, since she's home, I'm glad she's home.
Fact.
But before I even jump to the Brittney Griner and the Merchant of Death aspect of it, America has to be the weakest political joke of a country out there. You say that you'll take BG and I forgot the Marine's name, that's over there in Russia.
Paul Whelan.
Say his name again for me, Flake.
Paul Whelan.
Paul Whelan. You say, I want BG and Paul Whelan for the Merchant of Death. And they tell you no. It's either BG or nobody at all. And y'all say, we gonna make this. America has to be the weakest. The weakest. But she would have had to ride them 9 years out. She would have had to do time served. And this is the part that I'm kind of upset about us as a people in our culture as well. We put celebrity over anything. This nigga could come out and be the cause of some of your family's death or whatever the case may be, or some hellfire that happens to America that we really with some shit, and we decide to put a celebrity over that. We decide to put a celebrity, even if it don't even touch our lives, we decide to put a celebrity over somebody who potentially is going to take innocent lives and be at the hands of many, many deaths, all over some athlete. And the thing with us is we make it so hard for our politicians to tell us the truth and be like, I understand she's wrongfully imprisoned, and wrongfully I say that with quotation marks because she knew she wasn't supposed to be having no vapes and stuff over there, no cartridges and everything, but she tried to use her celebrity to think, okay, it'll be all right, and also she wouldn't get caught or whatever the case may be. But rules and laws in other countries are most of the time are 10 times harsher, especially towards us. In most countries, they're 10 times harsher just on how they are as a country and a community and a society, but especially towards Americans, because most people look down on us and really don't fuck with us. So, but she was wrongfully imprisoned 9 years over no cartridges. That don't add up. That don't make sense. So I will say that's wrong. But we decide to say, as a people, free her by any means necessary. That is the most dumbest, stupidest, and ass backward ass shit that we could do as a people. But that's the thing that we teaching our kids. That's the thing that we're doing. And then all of these so-called prominent activists and social workers and whatever the case are really proud and pounding their chest like this is something good and like this really makes sense. How? Like how? Again, I am glad she is home. I'm glad that she is home. But that trade, shit, I would have vetoed it like David Stern did Chris Paul to LA with Kobe.
Sure would have.
I would have said, hell no. Hell to the no.
Yeah, because I mean, real talk, this is how I looked at it, man, and it's unpopular opinion, but when you use the politicians, I think that's just a key point. It's like, dude was responsible for a lot of Africans getting killed, and then like the Blood Diamond story, he was actually the arms dealer behind that. So I just didn't understand of what the whole, oh yeah, we did something, but here's the truth is that was a Democratic move. And in order for Joe Biden to even think about running again, they had to get Brittney Griner home. And let's just be real. She represents the LGBTQ plus community. That is heavy in regards to voting blue. That's just what they're gonna stand on. To him, this was a political move that they had to, because honestly, he could never run again having a black woman in office with him, and then saying he left Brittney Griner over there, he gonna lose all their votes. And I just feel like that's what he made this about and what this was for, because let's be real, the mafia forced him into making that trade, and now he feels as if that he has actually done something for not just people, black people, and this is what y'all wanted, so we're gonna make this happen for y'all. And that's just what they look like to me. Like, all bullshit aside, this is a political move. If he want to run, they have to keep their foot down. LGBTQ plus is huge in the Democratic movement. He had to do what he had to do.
I agree with everything that you said, but the other part that's also a power move and that's even more powerful than just the LGBTQ is that she was a black woman, because black women have been at the front line and the ones who have held it down for us in the political aspect, in the political realm. And because she was a black woman, I think that even trumped the LGBTQ plus aspect of it just by a little bit. But both of them aspects is really why he had to do it, and he did make a political move, because if he would not, he definitely would have lost to, even though I still think he's gonna lose to whatever Republican runs up next, but he definitely would have been out of there and had no chance at all.
Yeah, you're right, because I think it's like 70, maybe even higher % of black women vote Democrat. Absolutely. He was in the chokehold.
I agree with y'all, but I think he did it for the party and not for him. I don't think he run it again. I think this is it for him. I don't think it's for the next person in line. It ain't for him. He not running again, bro. He out of there. So, but whoever lined up next, it was a move for them.
No, look at him. You can if you look at him, you can tell that, respectfully.
He don't even get no damn.
Nah, it ain't that. I just don't think it ain't too much fight left in old Joe. That's just.
Hey, you've been in one of my comedy shows. You heard my joke about Joe. It's on the album. You gotta do him in semesters. You can't do him. But we gotta go. We gotta go every semester with Joe, include summer school. How's he doing? Is he okay? Is he holding up?
2024, that bucket getting real close to his foot. I'm just gonna say that. But anyway.
I still think that he'll run just because of the white male ego, and if I still think he'll run. I'm not saying that he has a chance or whatever. And again, I don't know who would oppose him, because I don't know if the Democratic Party, when it comes that time for him to decide if he's running again, just gonna go ahead and get behind him again because he is the current, or if they gonna have somebody else that's coming up or whatever to try to make a run for it. But I think him personally, as long as he has breath in his lungs, he'll try to run, because it's his legacy over anything, and that's what's important. That's what's important to these white folks. Legacy over anything.
Too, white folks. Joe got a crackhead in the White House with him, his son. He done brought a black gay woman home for the merchant of death. That man in here, he almost like Death Row Records in that thing.
he definitely invited to the cookout. Let them tell it, but
He got you putting. You gonna visit the White House? You got to put all your jewelry up. Hey, you might want to leave your jewelry and stuff in the car. If you still got a CD player, you might want to take the face off because it might be gone. You got a crackhead on the loose around here.
Boy. Well, man, that's. Go ahead.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't have made the trade, but I'm glad she is home. Like Spirit said, I'm glad we did bring her home. It's good to see a black person get a little bit of get over on the system once, I guess. In a situation like that, like I said, I wouldn't have made the trade either, because the guy got arrested on the fact that he was planning on killing Americans. That's what they caught him. So it's like, so y'all think after what been locked up for 20 years or something like that? So you think after these 20 years he don't forget? That man ain't forget. It's still, he ain't forget.
And just the timing of it, with them being in the middle of a war, it's just like, man, ain't no way. But yeah, man.
Y'all keep in mind that 45 could have made this same trade for Paul Whelan. He let that man sit. But I heard if you really dig into Paul Whelan, he over there for a reason that ain't got nothing to do with our military, Marines. Matter of fact, he got kicked out of the Marines.
Yeah, but you know, 45, as much as he is all about, you know, the armed forces and the military, he knew for a fact he wasn't doing that deal on his watch. Ain't no way. He, like when we talk about legacy and how you gonna be remembered, he wasn't putting that on his jacket. He don't give a damn who over there, honestly. He can say what he want to because it ain't him making a decision. But he showed you he wouldn't have made that decision. Because what had been sitting over there, he gonna do a little time and then he'll come home. Hate it for you, just like we hate it for anybody else. But my whole thing would be is that, all right, now that you all have this push, can we have the same reform happen within our own cities and states with the United States to have the same push? Because there's a lot of people sitting in jail for very minor weed charges or dope charges that should be home and getting the same attention, the same love, and not just making it about a celebrity. Because when you do that, it makes people dig into it, and it's obvious, it's political game. But let's really turn into how y'all are funding these private prisons and having these people locked up over these bullshit charges. And that's not going to help you, because then that impacts your bottom dollar. And then, you know, that impacts you being able to run, because once you start getting people out, they start losing funding, they start supporting you, and they'll take their money and so support somebody else and flip whatever side they want to vote for. So that's just how I look at that. We got to address what's going on in our country before we start doing everything for everybody else.
One other thing too is that we got to just bring it full circle. Another reason why he had to do it is because I think he was catching flack for what 45 did by pardoning Wayne, by getting A$AP Rocky from China and doing all that other stuff and everything. So I think they was on his ass, like the black woman and everything, and our political leaders and activists for our culture was on his ass, because they was like, look what Trump did. And they might have even said, I don't know exactly what they said, but I got a feeling they probably would have been like, for some people who probably may not have needed to be pardoned. So why can't you do this for, whatever the case may be? But again, I don't know if they actually said that tidbit or that part, but I'm just saying, when Rocky was locked up, I remember there was some noise, but I don't remember they was going this ham. I don't remember when Wayne got pardoned. I remember it being like a joke. Oh, it pardoned Wayne and all of this stuff, but not like, oh, Wayne deserved to be pardoned. We was going to, you know, arms and everything to get Wayne pardoned and all this other stuff. But for BG, it's been a BG hashtag plan the whole time and everything. And again, from the beginning, I always thought like it's a travesty what happened to her, but she knew what she was getting into. And if you do the crime, do the time. Like, I mean, and again, I'm not saying 9 years should have been what she deserved, and we know that was all wrong. But again, we also understand that you can't be doing shit in other countries like you do back at home, baby. And you know, back at home, cartridges just are felonies too, though. They are felonies. So you getting some time or something that you're gonna have to pay a major fine or something, because if you have cartridges in America, it's a felony. So you think Russia, China, and all these other countries that ain't really for us really gonna really care? They gonna throw the hammer at you. They gonna throw the whole cell at you like they did. So we got to be mindful, and we got to be accountable for the shit that we do too. And we can't just say, oh, it's because I'm black, or whoa, it's me, or it's because I'm a celebrity, or because I'm a bisexual, or if I'm what's the thing? Not heterosexual, homosexual and all that other stuff. Like, just because I'm this is the reason why I'm getting these consequences. We can't do that. We got to take responsibility. So that's what I'm going to leave it at as far as that goes. If y'all don't got nothing else to add, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this Black Business Minute. This week for Black Business Minute, we got Sia Collective. It's a shoe brand, clothing line. There's not really a bio for Devin Carter, but Devin Carter is the founder and the creator of it. I know a little bit of his story, so I'm just gonna go off the top of the head what I know about him. He was an ex-military. He came home, went to fashion school. He's in the California area. I want to say the Bay Area, if I'm not mistaken. He went to fashion school for a couple of years or whatever. He interned with some people, Nike and stuff and all this other stuff. And then he decided to do his own thing because he didn't want to get pigeonholed into one, just creating for somebody else, but then two, doing some styles that he didn't feel like that was culturally fashion forward and moving us further along. So he decided to branch out and do his own thing. He has some dope designs and with some of the stuff he do. Some of the stuff is a little, I don't rock with me personally, but he does have a lot of stuff that also is fire and it's fire. He does everything by himself, for himself. I mean, he has a team or whatever thing, but he does everything out of his own pocket, out of his own, finances and everything. And so just check out Sia Collective. You can find it at siacollective.com, and then his Instagram is SIA_collective, COLLECTIVE. And you can see some of his designs and different things that he got going on and everything. And so he got some dope stuff out there. And again, Black-owned business. So that's our Black businessman at Sia Collective this week.
Good stuff. For our supremely persons of the week is going to be persons to go for all the Black parents out there that work hard all year long. If you celebrate the holiday or not, and you got a little bit of money in your pocket and you try to make it happen for your kids on a gift-giving holiday, man, they go out to all of y'all, for all the ones that's Muslim, for all the ones that don't celebrate it, that you spin the block that first week of January to make sure your kids got on some new stuff before they go back to school, even though you don't celebrate it. Man, it's all for you. We appreciate all you parents out there, for all you those that stepped in as parents and all that. Y'all been doing a great job. So you are supremely Black people for this week. Because I know some of y'all don't celebrate it, but y'all still spend them coins at first week of January to make sure your kids got them new fresh pair of shoes and outfits or whatever else, because they know when they go back, they're gonna see all the other kids with new stuff. So to all those people out there, man, we celebrate y'all.
Yes, sir. Salute to the parents, to the hard workers, to the people who not paying their bills to get their kids something, and sacrificing and everything. But then also to the ones who can hold the bills down and still get the kids whatever they want. Salute to y'all parents. You want to close this out, Fleck?
Yeah, you can close it out, Flizzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it out. For all my women out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side. Let them know you are a queen. For all our men out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side. Let them know you are a king. We are supremely Black, and we out.